Right.
Yay.
See if we show up anywhere as live. It's always good to see. Live. Let's see.
Oh,
That's not us.
struggling. Okay.
I think we're live. What do you think? There we go. Now we're live. Okay. So we're just going to update social media real quick. All right. So this is the most interesting part where we're sharing on social media to let people know.
Yes. Okay.
And I didn't share right.
Good job.
I'm the computer guy. I didn't share right. All right. You want to lead off with one of your stories?
One of my stories?
Yeah. We should introduce who we are first.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Okay. So while I'm trying to share social media, even though I'm a social media person, I'm screwing it up. My name is Shawn Walsh. I'm the Emerging Services and Technologies Librarian at your Madison Public Library here, and this is Talking Tech. And with me as my co-host,
I'm Allison. I'm a page/video editor here for the library.
And behind the screen is...
Hey, I'm Morgan. I'm a page here.
And Morgan is our videographer. Morgan handles a lot of our video for Zoom, and so we can do our Zoom story times. And so Allison edits everything in post. She makes us look awesome after the fact.
Yes.
All right. So what stories did you have with you, Allison? Because you can start off while I try to actually post something correctly to social media.
So I'm not going to use the first one then, because I know you can kind of spiral off of that.
Okay.
So something I'm personally interested in is I'm a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan.
Me too.
Yes. There is a new game coming out soon called Avatar Generations, where it's a RPG game, and it's going to be released Android and iOS. It's going to feature like all of the main characters, like obviously Aang, Zuko, Katara. And it's going to feature also like a lot of the more memorable like settings and quests along with like a bunch of new just kind of add-ons to kind of add on to the nostalgic effect of the game and give it something new, which I'm very excited for.
Is there any Legend of Korra content?
I didn't see anything about that, but okay. I mean,
because I a lot of people bagged on Legend of Korra. I thought it was a very good show.
I thought that's exactly how I feel about Korra.
And I thought it was kind of cool that it made a nice time jump, so it wasn't like Avatar and then boom.
Another Avatar, like
not more, okay, he just defeated the Fire Nation and it's the next day. There's a nice time jump and it's a new Avatar.
Yeah, like the next 100 years.
Yeah, and so there's some technology.
Yeah.
And it feels steampunky.
Especially with what's her face? I'm blanking. The one that kind of looks goth. I don't remember her name.
It's been a while since I've seen the show, and you're killing me. So if anybody is an Avatar, Legend of Korra fan in the audience, please help us. We are failing epically remembering people's names.
Oh my god, that's gonna bother me now.
I know it's one of those. I'm gonna be driving home back to Hubbard tonight, and it's gonna hit me probably around 322 or 87 on 11, and it's gonna hit me, and I'm gonna yell it out loud to nobody.
Exactly.
All right. So that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So, Morgan, are you a Avatar fan at all? Is that?
I'm not an Avatar fan.
No? Okay. No, she's never seen it. She's missed out.
Morgan.
So, I mean, I came in late because it was a cartoon that, kind of hit after, I was a bit older,
Yeah.
And then I literally got it from the library here and binge watched as much as I possibly could. And my friend Morgan out there hasn't seen it either.
Oh,
Morgan, what kind of librarian are you? This was like a big deal Morgan's not a teen librarian. She's a director, so she's not a teen librarian. She was thinking we were talking about the other one, the James Cameron Avatar, which is actually there's supposed to be 2 other movies coming out.
I didn't hear about 2.
Charlie and I, they're filming Avatar 2 and 3 kind of together a little bit.
Okay.
Think like how they did Avengers. You know how they basically
Oh.
filmed both halves of Endgame, and you
And
know,
then they just
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Okay, that's
So-
cool.
So yeah, so that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good lead off. So so my story is, at least my first story, I've got a couple Amazons and some stuff. So Amazon at some of their just walk out kind of stores, we've talked about these in the past, where you go in and you know you can pick up stuff from the Amazon store and literally just walk out because it's tracking you.
Yeah.
But a lot of time, what you have to do, what they don't show you is you have to authenticate before you go in the place. Okay. We should qualify that Allison just did like a grueling run before she came on camera.
Oh yes, that's
So
why my attire's a little.
well, there's nothing wrong with your attire, but if she yawns, she earned it.
Yeah, my run was not fun today.
She earned it. But they never show you authenticating to get in the building because obviously you got to prove that you're you, and then set up some sort of payment. Well, I didn't realize what they're doing is it's a palm reader. So you put your palm over this thing, and it takes basically like a palm print versus a fingerprint.
Okay.
And that's how you authenticate. So your credit, your Google account is tied to a scan of your palm.
Okay.
Okay. And so Amazon is rolling this out to Whole Foods because they own Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So now you'll be able to check out at a Whole Foods and just like wave your palm over the thing.
That's really
like,
cool, actually.
You know, magic. So it's just kind of cool, but it's also there's a bunch of jokes going around like, you know, Amazon is going to be able to tell your fortune because they're reading your palms. You know, more like Amazon's going to tell you, we're reading your palms. You forgot to get dog food. You know, historically you've ordered dog food every trip to Whole Foods, and you haven't this time. Either you've lost your dog, and we're going to send you a condolence thing, or you forgot the dog food. Because Allison and I, when we were in the office, were talking about when I hosted a different technology program called Neotech News back in the day when it was a broadcast. I talked about Target, and Target was predictively sending women basically baby coupons and things before that they knew that they were pregnant. It was kind of spooky, and they would figure that out based on your purchases at Target, and then other reading things and some changes in habit.
Yeah.
And they were actually actively predicting before a woman knew she was pregnant, and they would send her ads.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
it was
like based off purchases.
Based on purchases, based on changing habits. I mean, like people in her family, you know, the woman's family had no clue. Sometimes the women didn't even know. And they would like just magically get Target coupons. Like, yeah. So that was, I talked about that in the early 90s. So, I mean, this stuff's been around for a while, you know. So, yeah, Amazon, wave your hand upon the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, biometrics don't bother me too much. I know you have a biometric story, I think, in your list.
Yeah.
Biometrics don't bother me. I'm used to doing thumbprints. I'm used to doing, the only thing that grosses me out is anything to do with my eyes.
That I don't like retina scans because they kind of freak me out. I don't like
I'm eye sensitive. That's why I wear glasses. I don't wear contacts. I kind of get freaked out about anything with my eyes. And also I'm thinking, one person gets pink eye in the office. Everybody gets pink eye in the office.
That's not where my brain jumped to.
No, like I don't like home LASIK surgery that like burns your eye out.
I just don't like. I don't know. I just feel like it's so weird.
Eyes are just creepy to me. Like I said, that's why I wear glasses. I don't wear contacts because I just can't do it.
That's fair.
But I'm used to other biometrics. I've done face scans. I've done fingerprint scans.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, the one I thought was really cool. I was at a place where not only did they do a thumbprint scan, but they also checked for my heartbeat.
Oh.
And yeah, I was kind of like, so like I didn't have like a fake thumb. That was what they were telling me. I'm thinking, wow, that's a little creepy.
Yeah.
How many fake thumbs do you have in this place?
I mean, people get creative.
What's that, Morgan?
How many do you need to get a second check?
Yeah, I mean, it was, it's like I said, I've been in some weird biometric stuff. So, and you have a biometric story.
I do.
So,
this is about face recognition more as well. The technology for face recognition is becoming much, much more advanced, which is nice because it's starting to recognize age, gender.
Mhm.
Also, if you wear like a mask or a niqab or anything like that, it can recognize your face underneath. It's starting to pick up emotions more. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be much more helpful now that it's
Mhm.
updated. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's,
So, I mean, I could, from certain perspectives, like when I'm helping a person over the phone for a library thing,
mm,
I'm missing a lot of cues that you would normally get from someone who comes up to you.
yeah.
We have this thing, it's, and some of my friends are librarians watching this. So we have this thing called a reference interview. And it's me talking to you to figure out what your question is,
Mhm.
whether it's a book or you're needing help researching something. But it's also me kind of figuring out what exactly you're looking for. Because people will walk in and ask for something, but it's not really what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of digging, or someone doesn't know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And so you kind of work through a process, and it is a process where you work through getting the information out of the person.
Mhm.
And sometimes you find out that what they came to ask for is not even remotely close to what they were looking for.
But they thought it was.
But they thought it was.
Yeah.
And part of that reference interview is not only listening to the person, but also like watching their face and their body position.
Mhm.
Like someone's engaged, they move towards you.
Towards
Someone who's standoffish or offended or whatever moves back.
Mhm.
Your eyes change when you're interacting. So taking all of that into consideration helps you figure it out. Because sometimes if you're working with a person, especially if they don't natively speak your language, it's totally all based on interactions from their body.
Yeah.
I've worked with a decent number of people either that use ASL or speak a language I do not know. And I'm totally rolling through the whole thing on the reference interview based on their facial expressions, how they're positioning themselves. So when you're on the phone or sometimes at a distance, there's absolutely no way to know if the person on the phone is rolling their eyes or whatever. But if there was some facial recognition technology on the other end there that said, hey, yeah, you may be losing them.
Yeah.
Like right now, if we had facial recognition technology, we would know if our audience was rolling their eyes at us right now.
Or if you're not just necessarily rolling your eyes, but have that the fake forced smile.
Yeah.
Just like,
Because that's, and so I'll give one of my tricks away. I always look at a person's eyes when they smile, because your muscles move differently around your eyes when you're really smiling versus the face smile.
Yes.
I'm going to make a smile for pictures. A real happy, joy smile is absolutely all about changes in the eyes.
I'm glad to know that the audience is not rolling their eyes.
Oh, good. Thank you for the audience not rolling their eyes.
Yes.
Yay. And audience interaction is so wonderful.
It is. We love it.
This actually makes it so much better for us, as well as so much better for overall Facebook metrics. So that's cool. So I will tell my story, because one of the audience members was in the room with me when this happened. So in the early 90s, we were at a technology conference, and that was the first time they were debuting facial recognition technology.
Yes.
And so I might have been 19. I don't think I was 20 yet. I think Morgan remembers this one. Not Morgan in the audience.
Morgan in the chat.
So there was a woman, and she was probably, I think she had said she was in her 60s at the time, with long gray black hair that was so similar to the way yours is cut with bangs, but down longer,
okay.
Like probably beyond shoulder length, and thick glasses. I mean, like real thick, like old school glasses.
Okay.
Real thick glasses. And she was probably about a head shorter than me.
Okay.
And we all had a chance to come up and try to unlock this computer with facial recognition. And so a bunch of people, in fact, I think the one person in the audience did try to do it. Yeah, Nick was there too. There was a couple of us technology folks all trying to do it. And who posed the best likeness to a 60-year-old woman with gray black hair? I have much curlier hair at the time because my hair goes curly. I had thinner glasses, and I think I had a goatee.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it totally unlocked. And the whole audience just burst like tearing laughing. And so we all went, well, this technology isn't going to go very far.
I mean, stand corrected, but that's
But that was
what I-
that was a
long
good
time
20
ago.
some years ago almost at this point. But it is, I mean, it's cool. I mean, and to be able to recognize people past masks,
Mhm.
some folks were that wear face coverings for religious reasons.
Yeah.
To be able to recognize them past that.
Yeah, that's definitely.
So they don't have to basically pull the veil back and put it back, and
Well, not just like I feel like they wouldn't even be able to use it at all. I don't think because
yeah. Well, I mean, I will be honest with you, I have the darndest time when people put masks on or for COVID or whatever. I'm really bad at recognizing people. I'm terrible at it. So people come up to me in the store in my hometown and be like, "Oh, hi, Shawn." I'm like, okay, need vocal cues or something. I need anything in the background. Please, please, please. Or sometimes I'm really tired and I just don't recognize the person.
Yeah.
I was in Giant Eagle at like 10 o'clock after driving home from up here, and I was talking to a person and I didn't know who they were. It was my mom's neighbor. I felt bad, but I'm like, I have no idea.
Or you get those people that come up to you and you're like, "Oh, I held you when you were little." I'm like, that
happens less and less to me now.
That's great. Like, I never seen you in my life.
Yeah, people that definitely know you from when you were small is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happens to me less and less.
Okay, I'm glad.
It happens to Morgan behind the camera too. Yeah. So Amazon palm reading, and I have another Amazon story. So, and I didn't realize this. So Amazon bought Roomba. Did you guys know that?
I found that out like an hour ago.
An hour ago? Okay.
Yes.
And the reason I purposely turned towards Morgan because she's on one of the robotics teams for Madison. Ooh. And iRobot is pretty big into robotics beyond the vacuums.
I would say so.
The coolest thing is they provided a Roomba that you could basically hack. You could program and do whatever you wanted to do, which was really cool for a company that was making a commercial product that then allowed you to tinker with commercial product. Mm-hmm. I mean, Apple doesn't do that, So I find it interesting that Amazon now owns Roomba, because if we're concerned about, Amazon listening to our conversations and having our thumbprints, now the Roomba has scanned our house and knows,
location. Like I can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Knows when you sleep, knows how many pets you have, knows the location stuff, and I mean, there's a creep factor there. But there's also, to me, if more home integration. I like the home integration stuff. Yeah. I like on my way home to tell my thermostat to make the house a little bit warmer. When no one's home, and so the house is already warmed up for me.
Exactly.
I like being able to turn lights on. Mm-hmm. As I'm going upstairs. My friend. Wish my friend Jed would listen to this. He doesn't, because he travels a lot, so he's on the road a lot. But it's pretty cool. He automated his home, so he has a nighttime routine. Because he does automation on the big levels. He works for companies like Cedar Fair America, automation for rides, and his company does a lot of robotics for car industry. So I mean, he's a safety guy, so that's kind of his thing. But the coolest thing is he set it up so his house basically has a routine, so he can go upstairs and it kind of follows him and shuts everything off as he goes. And
that's really cool.
Timed, yeah. So what did Charlie chime in?
You can pet the Roomba and it will know who you are.
Good little Roomba. Yeah, good little Roomba. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it works so hard all the time.
Yes. Well, I'm just glad that the Roomba now has avoidance technology. Just in case you have a pet that has an accident, that the Roomba does not send it around the room. Because there's some awesome stories. I will not elaborate. Some awesome stories about Roombas finding things that pets have left behind and spreading them.
Yes.
Yeah. So what else do you got in your list of stories?
I have something about Netflix, actually. Netflix recently hasn't been doing too hot. Other streaming services have been popping up, providing for better shows, better movies, anything, programs in general. Despite that, though, they exceeded expectations by a lot, according to a ton of people, because of Stranger Things. Stranger Things, apparently, the new season was the first English language Netflix show to make it to 1 billion streams or views.
That's
which
insane.
is, I know.
That's insane.
That's nuts. Because, I mean, you have, obviously, anime, Japanese. A lot of those are across 1 billion. But the first, English...
Yeah,
stream,
because you're definitely right with the anime and some other media.
Yeah.
As far as streams go, 1 billion's not crazy, but for an American English language program, that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, and because we were talking in the office about this too, and all the Netflix subscribers are going to Disney Plus, and I'm not gonna bag on Netflix because again, we were talking in the office. Both Allison and I use Netflix for our anime watching.
Yeah, which I've been recently getting into a bit more. So.
Yep, it's a good binge.
It is. It's not bad. Some of them aren't too bad.
And I also use it. There's my son Daniel. There's some things on Netflix that he really likes. There's some shows. I think it's possible Octonauts. I don't know if your younger sister, likes Octonauts or not, but Octonauts is Netflix is producing their own Octonauts.
Yeah.
So their own shows of Octonauts. But and I'm behind on Stranger Things. I'm one of those people that's still a season or two behind.
Yeah, I have never actually gotten into Stranger Things. I've only heard about it, and I only go off of what people tell me. And they're like, "Oh, this person's a jerk," and I'm like, "Yeah, they are."
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you a thing about them though.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was kind of hard to miss some things of Stranger Things because of the Metallica connection to Stranger Things season 4. There was no way for me to avoid
I've heard a lot
that Master of Puppets was played in the pivotal scene.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know what the pivotal scene is. But yeah. So let's looking at the chat, but we can't buy DVDs. Yeah, Morgan. So I think the last time we were able to get a Stranger Things DVD, we had to buy ours directly from Target, I think is where we bought it from. Amazon is terrible about selling their shows on DVD. And that's actually becoming harder and harder for libraries in general. Things that are streaming stay streaming a lot longer before they release to a DVD. So as people, because we were reading an article where a lot of younger people are cutting back on what streaming services they have. And it's partially because of the economy. It's partially because of other things. There's some fatigue in streaming.
Yes.
Because when you get a new streaming service, you love that one. That's the one you watch all the time.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you fall out of love with it. You've watched for a while there. I literally felt like I watched everything that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Everything, because I would sit there because I only have streaming. I've only ever had streaming at my house, and the entire time I've lived there. And literally, I would sit there and go, okay, I think I've watched everything on Hulu. I've watched everything on Netflix. I've watched everything on Prime. Now, there's more than what I would watch. I guess anything I would actually watch. There's shows that are wonderful, but it's not my thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like a lot of the streamings are I don't really know what my kind of show is. I haven't really found what I like.
What your jam is.
Yeah. So I'll go into something like a streaming service like Netflix, and I'm like, this just doesn't look interesting.
Yeah.
Because, but that's what I kind of look at everything.
I like I like the anime rule. The anime rule, it takes 3 episodes before you know what the heck's going on and whether you like it or not. Yeah.
And
so I give everything the anime rule, Yeah,
I guess. But then there's general I'll look at it and be like, I know I'm not gonna like that. Just based off of I hate cheesy romance stuff. I hate it.
You mean the Hallmark Channel?
Yeah, I hate Hallmark Channel. I really do.
It may be that we've bagged on the Hallmark Channel. What's that, Morgan?
Yep.
Yeah, these two ladies, so you can't see Morgan, but these two ladies have shelved Hallmark DVDs probably 100,000 times. They go well in the library, and I like to bag on Hallmark because I swear every time I've ever seen a Hallmark show, it's a similar plot.
Golden Retriever dog, hardworking mom.
The lady who's left town comes back.
She comes back.
Gets stuck in town.
Meets a guy.
Who
happens to be a really good cook.
Yeah, or something. or owns a bed and breakfast, or is a farmer, or
And if she
whatever.
has a kid, he plays soccer.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's soccer.
It's never
but
it's never any other sports. I want some hockey kids. Come on now. Yeah.
Hockey kids.
Yeah.
Hockey's
I'm all
interesting.
I'm all about the hockey.
I love hockey.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Morgan, my friend director Morgan says guaranteed circ of 100. Yeah, easily 100 circs every Hallmark movie, regardless of what it is. But talking to a friend of mine, I didn't because Hallmark has a streaming channel, but the newest Hallmark movies are not on the streaming channel. It's only on the Hallmark channel. I find that fascinating.
That's
So the newest whatever, Good Witch 4000, because it's the one I can remember because I think it's a cool title.
or Happy Holidays something.
Happy Holidays,
Yeah.
comes to the Birminghams. I don't know. What's that?
When calls the home.
When?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. When calls the heart via the cell phone.
Oh my goodness.
We have degraded. Yeah. No, actually, we haven't. My mom is now watching. Who watches Hallmark? So she'll catch up to this at some point.
Yes.
So yeah. So back to Roomba.
That spiraled so much.
Spiral.
Oh my
So this is
goodness.
what I bring to this show. Tangents. Big, huge tangents.
Yes.
No, so that I'm interested to see where the home automation stuff goes and where Roomba goes.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Google was down Monday?
Maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
So
I tried using it. It
Google
like-
was down because I wondered what the heck was going on, and I the first thing I always go to is okay, something's up with my phone, because
Phone
I have terrible
internet
connection here in
connection.
Madison
Mhm.
with my phone, even though it's the Verizon coverage area, it just doesn't work well for me.
It's not good here.
And it's a couple other blips happened on Monday, and I just chalked it up to sunspots, whatever weirdness. No, Google was literally down for thousands of users
That's
Monday.
nice.
And it ended up being so here's what all was down: photos, people use that constantly,
Mhm.
maps,
Mhm.
Drive,
Mm.
Google Duo, which I don't actually know what that is.
It's kind of like Zoom, but just
Wow.
Google.
So is it Google Groups or whatever evolved into this other thing? So it's basically their video platform. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like FaceTime.
It's like FaceTime? Okay. So all of that was down. So literally everything that you would use productivity wise
Anything that's
was
like
down.
actually useful that Google has.
Yeah,
is
plus
down.
anything else that Google hosts.
Mhm.
So so Google died for a little while.
Oof.
And it was a software update. Just went bad. And that happens. I mean, I do it here. I've had moments where literally, Charlie
Phone
uses
was
a
unusable.
he uses a Pixel. So I mean,
Oof.
could you imagine driving somewhere you've never been and Google Maps dies?
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Both of my parents and my sister use Google Pixels, so they were. I'm sure they probably weren't having the best time on
Mhm.
Monday.
Yep.
And yes, Duo is.
Yep.
Yeah. The
Thanks, Sandy.
FaceTime. Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
I like the spelling of like, Liej.
Don't make fun of your mom.
It's funny.
So Google, but I know how to use maps. I actually have maps in my car, like real live maps,
Yeah.
because I have backup maps. Because I've been places where you can't get cell signal, like really far in the hills, like in West Virginia and stuff. And like, there's a mountain in your way. You're not gonna. get it.
You're not gonna get anything out of that.
So so Google was down. It was just a software update. So that's kind of freaky. And I got two other cool Google things right now. Actually, do you got something else in your queue? Or want me to Google some more?
Nothing. You can. While we're on the Google subject,
Just
you
roll
can
the
do
Google.
that.
Roll the
Yeah.
Google. Okay, roll in the Google. So Google Workplace, which is what you guys use at school, your apps. So your email, your
stuff like that. Classroom,
sheets and
stuff like that.
yeah. So Google Workplace just did a huge overhaul so that they would better work with Microsoft products. So there's some irony in this, but for the longest time, like if you if you sent someone a Word doc
Yeah.
and you open it up in in whatever their word processor is, it would trash the formatting.
Yeah.
It would look
Absolutely.
like,
It would look
junk.
horrible.
Finally, Google overhauled so they can bring in doc files
That's
and
nice.
Excel files and PowerPoints and all that stuff. I find some irony in the fact that Google is just admitting that they couldn't hack it, so they had to do an overhaul.
Yeah.
There's also a part of me going, is this the point where Google's saying, well, we now will work with your Microsoft stuff. Why do you need Office 365? You know? So, it's interesting. Yeah. The demographics of your audience is slanted towards people over 60. Lol. Yeah, Morgan. Yeah. Well, that's what Facebook's audience is actually. Women from age 48 or 35 and 48, depending on what state you're in, to 65 is who primarily uses Facebook. Yes. And especially our Facebook, based on my stats.
Yeah, I am only on Facebook for library page, cross country, and band.
Yep. And that's,
occasionally theater.
And people, Morgan, do you use Facebook at all?
I do not use Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, it's generally your age group. And I was reading this as an article because Pew did a big internet study where, you guys just bailing on Facebook in droves.
Yeah.
TikTok is where you're at.
Yeah.
But YouTube is the number one platform.
I love YouTube. It's great.
Snap is coming along.
Snapchat's a big one.
TikTok is just behind YouTube, but YouTube still is the king.
Yeah.
And a little bit, but not much in Twitter. Twitter's mostly 60-year-old men, demographically wise.
And like politicians.
And politicians. And I mean, some schools use it because it's an easy way to get information out. I know Madison uses it for that reason. But yeah, it's interesting. Thought Snap was going away. Oh no. Snap had a huge resurgence. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to find a way for the library to use Snap effectively. But it may just not be the platform we can do.
I don't think it's a great platform for it because people have to unless you make it onto the explore page somehow.
Yeah.
You have to actually have people add you. And I'm pretty sure isn't it to make it to the explore page you have to have a certain amount of people add you onto it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is much more of a messaging app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a direct messaging app, which to be honest with you would work well. But there is an element of Snap that I find kind of creepy. I can randomly invite people to the library Snap thing based on geography.
Yeah.
Which I find a little creepy is obviously some of these people are teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like
who?
Wow, I'd like to get the library message out, but there's also part of me going, I don't want to send a message to a teenager, even officially as the library. I find that a little creepy. So what Charlie says, Snap has a pay for subscription.
They do. They have a pay for subscription now, which yes, it adds absolutely nothing of value.
Snap Plus. They couldn't get when will something come out with a new whatever the heck it is?
It's either
Plus.
Yeah, it's either Plus or Prime because you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, well,
Twitch
is owned by Amazon.
Yeah, never mind.
Twitch is owned by Amazon, so
I didn't say
anything. No, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. A lot of people don't know Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
Because Twitch started out independently.
Yeah.
But
Twitch Prime though is great.
Oh, I like actually the fact that the Twitch can pull in some of because you can watch group watch videos through Prime and play games.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to pull that off yet, but that's cool.
Snap Plus dumb in many ways. Yes, it is very dumb.
Snap Plus dumb in many ways. Yeah.
Doesn't it just give you early access to
people's chats?
I don't know.
You got the chat before they wrote it.
Yeah.
There's a story rewatch indicator. There's a friend solar system. You get the Snapchat Plus badge if you get it.
Wow.
And you have a best friend forever that you can pick as your best friend.
A best friend forever?
Do that.
And you can use Snapchat on a web browser.
There could be an advantage to that from a marketing perspective, but
an individual person, unless they have a ton of people, huge platform.
Yeah. Well, if you were a major influencer, I could see doing it.
It costs $3.99 a month.
What?
$3.99 a month or $40 a year.
Dang.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's I would rather have the Taco Bell subscription. That's a shout out to Charlie because him and I talk about the Taco Bell subscription regularly. I'd rather have the Taco Bell subscription so I can go get my tacos for that amount of money.
I agree with that. The Taco Bell has been growing on me recently as well.
Yeah,
I love their quesadillas.
People bag on Taco Bell, man. When you're hungry, it's there.
So good.
It's there.
It is so good.
Made it that long without mentioning Taco Bell. Woo! We're nerds. Well, at least I am. The ladies, they can comment whatever they want, but yeah, Taco Bell is ingrained in our DNA. Yeah, but nowadays, almost nothing is open either. You know, if you're working late or you're out late doing something, whatever, you know, you go around,
you're
everything's
hanging out.
closed.
Yeah.
You know, and you need
except for like
food.
Waffle House, and that's
Waffle House is a whole different level of.
we don't want to go. No.
Yeah, I've spent quality time in Waffle Houses because I used to work in the food industry, and you had a finite number of places that you could eat after your shift was done at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, so like it was a great restaurant at a truck stop near my house, and I mean the food was spectacular.
Really?
And because we were all cooking people, you know, we were treated well. And same thing with the Waffle House, even though the Waffle House is kind of sketchy sometimes. When they knew your food service, like everything was awesome. Like everything was awesome. Yeah. We also tipped stupid good too.
Yeah.
Because we knew what the other end was like, you know. So my last Google thing is I didn't realize Google, as a librarian, I did not know Google had a Learn to Read app specifically for teaching reading. Now, it started in India, I believe, to help children learn how to read in the various Indian languages, because there's like 600-700, you know, most of us just know about Hindi or whatever. There's a lot of different languages, like 600-700 different dialects and languages. And so it started out there. Okay. But now they've added English, they've added Spanish, French. So, I mean, so you can learn to read. And so it uses text to speech, uses all the other Google stuff to help children read. And I was playing with it in the office. It's kind of fun looking. I think libraries may want to get behind this one because it could be a cool way to literally hand someone who needs help teaching your child to read. Because there are people who don't read well themselves that are trying to teach children how to read.
Exactly.
Or, you know, we have a lot of folks who speak multiple languages here in Madison, and to be able to help them read as well.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So it started as an app called Bolo. And now it's just called, what is it called? I wrote it here somewhere. I'm changing the name to Read Along. Oh. Sorry. I glanced past it like 12 times. The actual thing is called Read Along. Yep.
How long ago was this? Because I feel like I remember hearing.
It's been in India for a while, but this story hit not too long ago, at least the American side.
I was going to say, because I remember hearing about like that technology coming out in India a little while ago. And I don't, maybe it was for like a language arts class or something, or just doing general research. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm good with helping people read, period, regardless of anything. So I think it's pretty cool. What else you got in your queue?
So moving away from Google, more video games.
Run away from Google.
Yeah, more video games because I like them.
I do too.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yay! That's one of oh my god, I just blanked. Okay, the new game. It's like the little doubles. They leaked legendaries. We don't know their names yet.
Because Allison asked me in the office. I'm like, I don't know yet either.
I know. I wish I did, but it's from what they've heard from them. There's 4, and they're supposed to be the opposite of the forces of nature, and that's all they give you. Like I don't know what that means, like at all.
Yeah. I don't know.
But they mentioned something about how it ties into Arceus, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's nifty.
Which is really, because that is my favorite legendary.
Yeah.
And yes. So I'm really, really pumped because if it does have to do something with Arceus, definitely have to play it.
And they're doing really well with their Pokemon games when it comes to the Switch.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think that's Nintendo's bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And when something new comes out in the Pokemon, it goes to Pokemon Go, which I still play quite a bit. It's my guilty pleasure of something to just occupy my brain sometimes, to let it go when I'm working on a problem or something like that. I'll play Pokemon for a couple seconds to let my brain settle out, and then I can go right back into whatever problem I'm working on. Plus, it's fun to play when you have a second grader in your house. You know, catching Pokemon is pretty cool. You know,
Yes.
Dad goes pick catch a Pokemon with you. Do you play Pokemon at all or any of the games, Morgan? No.
Aw.
Morgan's not much of a gamer. It seems like. Minecraft.
I do play
She
Okay.
plays Minecraft. That's
Yeah,
so
you
fun.
do. You both of you two play.
Yes.
Just play a lot of Minecraft.
We have a realm, and
The
we have
library
not
has
been
one.
on it in so long.
Yeah, the library has one too. I don't know what's going on with it.
Sword and
That's
Shield was
in
okay.
Josling.
But
Yeah.
we need another mystery. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mystery
Yeah.
Dungeon was pretty darn
Mystery
awesome.
Dungeon.
Yeah, I agree, Charlie. Mystery Dungeon was pretty darn
Didn't
awesome.
play that one, but I've heard some pretty good things about it. So
You might have been.
Was
You might have been young when that.
Was I
out.
young?
Yeah, you might have been young when that was out.
why did I think that was a new one? Maybe I'm mixing it up with.
Yeah, I thought Mystery Dungeon. I thought was pretty old. I'll have to Google. Someone will have to Google see what time that was.
Yeah.
What year that came out.
Because I feel like maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think our researcher is checking
Yeah.
it
It says first release was September 19th of 1993.
And so I'm definitely thinking of something else. I'm not
because
out of
I
high
was
school.
yeah.
I'm not even 16 yet. Give it a couple
We're not
weeks.
alive for
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
DS era.
DS, dun dun dun. Yeah. So I remember Pokemon on the 64. I'm ancient and decrepit and disintegrating rapidly. That's a joke from a musical. So that Pokemon's cool.
Yes.
Are you guys ready for this one?
Yes.
So I've been talking about this actually for years, but it's slowly becoming more of a reality. We're creating a ton of data, right?
Yes.
Everybody has data.
Yes.
I mean, extremely large amounts of data, and you don't want to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about corporate data, think about personal data.
Yeah.
You know, filling up drives, filling up something. What do you need as a storage media when you need to store a lot of stuff? DNA.
Yeah.
DNA is the answer.
Yeah.
Because you can use DNA to basically store your ones and zeros. Data everywhere. That's right, Charlie. So I've been talking about this for actually years because DNA literally stores data, and that's how we make us, period.
Mhm.
So DNA, you guys ready for this? Is capable right now with modern technology, what we've got right now, 215 petabytes of information. Not terabytes, not gigabytes, petabytes. I mean, you're used to dealing with huge files when you do our video stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a small video is a huge file.
Yeah.
And that's at our current resolution. Can you like fathom that much storage?
You realize
You
how
know.
long I would be sitting there to wait for that to upload?
Yeah, 1 petabyte at a time.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go out, get married, raise a family,
Yeah, literally.
pass away. Our children will come back. The
could-
file is still loading.
Yeah.
That's
So many
literally that
downloads
kind
of
of time
Warzone.
frame. What's that?
So many downloads of Warzone can fit on that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's literally like, you could like spend your entire life waiting for an upload. I mean,
Yeah.
literally,
That's-
go to school, get married, have kids, become a grandparent. Your grandchildren are the one die. Your children are the ones actually waiting for the file to finish.
Even then,
it's-
their grandchildren.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there.
those upload speeds. I mean,
It's like a time capsule, pretty much.
Exactly. We're talking like the sleeper ships when we send people off into out into space. It's crazy numbers. But yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
because IBM's been working with crystals for a long time. I can remember talking about
Oh, yeah.
early 90s storing data in the lattice structure of crystals, but it wasn't even nearly this amount. We were talking terabytes at that time in
Mhm.
crystals. So now this one's for me and maybe some of my friends who have been around for a while on the chat. Winamp. Winamp released a new version. Winamp was the end-all be-all MP3 player in the day. Winamp was how you controlled and managed everything with all of your MP3s that you acquired legally through Napster. And
Awesome.
Napster and LimeWire, all of those legal downloads you did when you were my age in the high school, probably of Metallica, actually, going back to Stranger Things. But yeah, no, Winamp is back. The thing is, Winamp is a really good MP3 player. And the reason why Winamp is so good is it had a really good mixer. Where I feel like Windows Media Player and iTunes fall down is if I'm listening to something, I enjoy tweaking the music so that it's set right. So like if I'm listening to spoken word, I don't want it to sound like I'm listening to hip hop with heavy bass.
Yeah.
I don't want the spoken word, like a poem or a audiobook or whatever, to have this looming insane bass over top of my head.
That'd be funny.
Or if I'm listening to like jazz, I don't want it to have where it's really pumped up for guitars. Same thing with rock. And Winamp was just great at that. You could have all of these presets, and you could even have it set so that if you knew the genre of the music, it would fix your preset to that. So if you're like me and you listen to a pretty broad range of stuff, so 1 minute I'm listening to maybe a song from a musical, and another minute I'm listening to jazz, and another minute I'm listening to metal, another minute I'm listening to, maybe some rock or some pop or something. Or like it would adapt all the way through instead of like setting it and like, oh my gosh, I'm listening to the Beastie Boys and it sounds terrible. I have to fix this. Or I'm listening to Miles Davis with thumping bass and it doesn't work. So I'm kind of stoked. 4 years. 4 years development.
That's crazy.
4 years. I mean, aside from video games, what else do you know takes that long? And again, if you're joining us, the reason Allison is yawning is because, again, her and the cross-country folks were kicking butt running a pretty aggressive course today. So she ran a pretty aggressive course and then came here to be on camera with us. So, again, she earned every yawn.
Thank you,
there. She earned it. She earned it.
Oof.
So
hill workouts, my least favorite.
Yep. All right. So do you got other stories on your queue?
I had 4.
You had 4. It's okay. Where are we doing time wise? Where are we at? 7 something. Okay, I got some more stories.
That's good.
So Meta. I have trouble calling the Meta. It's Facebook.
It's Facebook.
I'm sorry, it's Facebook.
It's Facebook.
So Meta's Portal, which was the big Christmas gift a couple of years ago during the pandemic and stuff, really didn't. I mean, everybody wanted one, but it really didn't take off. I mean, we have some here for a project that I'm working on, and Charlie's working on but it didn't take off. But it did take off in the business sector.
Oh.
So people are using them as their communication tool and collaboration tool for work from home.
Okay.
So the second they put Zoom on the portals, people started mounting them on their desks. So instead of having like an IP phone or some kind of work phone, they have the portal. So they can do instant video collaborations with all the people that are also working from home.
Too expensive for home users.
I agree, Charlie. It was definitely too expensive and really hard to get. I mean, really, when we were getting them, it was really, really hard to get the number we needed for the grant that we got.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh my gosh. So I'm looking at this. So they have apps now where you can basically share your screen from your laptop into the portal, into your conversation. So it's very much, it's doing the Zoom. It's doing all the stuff you would expect. Yeah, and the chip shortage is killing us too. But yeah, all of a sudden, this is now the thing. So if you are a work from home person, you're getting the 3rd or 4th version of the portal and mounting it on your desk next to your laptop.
Yeah.
And that's your communication tool. So that's pretty cool. This one I thought was also very cool. So I read a lot of news out of the UK because sometimes it's funny. I will see stuff on the BBC telling me about what's going on with libraries in Ohio before I'll see it on a news program in Ohio. It's
awesome.
It's, for whatever reason, it tends to do that. So I was reading an article. So hospitals in Lancashire and Cumbria are using drones to move medical samples back and forth. So instead of, say we need to do a blood test. And maybe the one hospital has all the equipment to do the blood test. Normally, you would put that in a vehicle and drive to wherever.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead, they're loading up drones, so automated electric drones.
Mhm.
You know, they're not gas-powered drones; they're
No,
electric,
just-
and they are literally traveling back and forth between hospitals, moving samples and information back and forth. Stuff that you wouldn't, anything that you wouldn't normally send across the internet.
yeah.
Physical things moving back and forth, and it's actually speeding up patient care significantly.
That's nice.
And more and more hospitals are doing it.
Are they like shorter distances because of like?
In some cases, it's actually
Powers.
longer distances.
Really?
Yeah. So, for example, say you're on the Isle of Wight, okay?
Okay.
Isle and offshore of England.
Yeah.
You're in a hospital there. You can have your samples sent, instead of having to get into a boat, over via drone back to
Cool.
another hospital, and have all your tests done,
Dang.
and all the information sent back. I mean, whoop whoop, done.
And that's
Yeah.
like in a matter of how, like what?
It
Couple-
instead of like in some cases the water trip is based on when the ship is going back and forth. For the land, what happens if there's an accident or whatever? There's roads blocked, whatever. We're talking in some cases half the time because you're flying and you don't have to really you don't have to.
There's not much.
There's
air
no
traffic.
stop signs.
No.
There's no stoplights.
Might be a bird.
There's no bad. Yeah. There's. I'm waiting for
this has come up the past 2 times that I've done one of these. A bird running into a drone.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Except for the bird. Not great for the bird.
No.
Yeah. But I think this is because I've been waiting for, aside from doing cool videos, I will say that drones are good for marketing videos and stuff, or like helping you find someone who's lost.
Yeah.
I was having a little trouble, like, okay, what are we doing with drones? Amazon talked about delivering packages with drones, but like, what are we doing? And to me, this is kind of cool. It's moving things back and forth. And so I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. It's cool.
I'm glad that they're finding like more actual use.
Practical use. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of libraries bought drones and we're like, well, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Aside from
It's
doing
just-
cool video stuff, what is the
video
purpose
stuff,
of,
video stuff and like anything like cinematography or just photography in general is really, really cool. They also do like the drone like competitions, like racing stuff with the tiny little, they, like,
it's like an esports basically.
Yeah.
I can see
Like,
see
that's
that
cool.
aspect.
But
It's
nice that they're actually being used for something a bit more than
practical.
just-
Yeah. Again, I think I desperately want to get a drone to come in and do some stuff. Amherst Library. So a couple hours from here, did a walkthrough of their building, their new building or their existing building. They flew it through the building so you could see what the building used to look like. And then when they went through renovations, then they ran the drone through afterwards with all the new stuff. And it was kind of cool because they did bring it right through the door. I mean, someone opened the door and the drone flew in. So whoever was running the drone really knew their stuff without question.
Good. The Drone Racing League.
Yep.
There's a
Drone Racing League.
a league.
Now this is pod racing. What's
What
that?
is
I
it?
think there may be a league at Spire.
Really?
Aspire. That's actually
Spire just over the line there.
Oh. that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very cool. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I used to really want a drone actually and learn how to fly it, but that was so long ago.
So long ago,
That
like
was-
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
No. Okay. No, it was probably like when drones were still like kind of new-ish. Like it was like,
Yeah.
whoa, get a drone, like probably my 5th grade, 4th grade-ish.
Okay.
It was
It's
just
about
kinda
time I bought my first little helicopter.
Yeah. Because my dad had these little helicopters and they lasted for maybe like 30 minutes, 25-ish,
Yeah.
depending on how high you flew them.
Yep, I got a couple of helicopters like that I play around with, and I fly around my yard and stuff. But yeah, so long ago, it's
Sounds
40
funny.
years there,
Well,
Morgan.
Well,
Yes.
I'm not 40.
3 years.
Yeah.
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 3 or 15. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So I get because I get to pick on my folks who work for me, since there's a pretty good age difference. They say it's so long ago, and I'm like, it wasn't that long. Air hogs, yeah, that's
hogs.
right, Charlie.
Oh,
Air
goodness.
hogs. So a couple other things I've got some stories for that I thought was pretty cool. So they're using tears to do tests on people for things like diabetes.
Oh yeah. I actually
or
did hear
viruses
that.
and stuff.
I didn't hear about the viruses.
So, instead of doing a more invasive test like a blood test, they take basically a tear sample and then run the test on it. So I can imagine it now. You're going into the doctor. Here, put your hand down. Whack.
Yeah.
Okay, and you start to cry. Okay, good. I got your samples.
Yeah.
Okay,
At
now
that
put some ice
point-
on your hand and head out.
Yeah. At
We'll
that
check
point,
you
just
later.
take my blood.
Well, I have. See, I had. I'm not scared of blood, but sometimes when my blood draws, I pass out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not scared of blood.
It just happens.
Some of you know I've worked with kids for years, and kids bleed all the time. Not by my fault, but
Hope not.
yeah, especially if I have to fast or whatever, I'll pass out. So I'm like, okay, this is a viable option because sometimes I take I'll have my blood drawn for because I have medicine I have to sometimes do that for.
Yeah.
And then my next thing is I have to drive up here.
Ooh.
So there's me like, okay, am I going to pass out? Am I okay to get in the car? I had to time it all. I'd rather just cry, okay, show me that one scene in Up. I'm ready.
Make me listen to the music from Up.
Yeah.
And I'll start crying.
So I'm not the only one. There's that one scene in Up. You're like, I'm going to cry like nobody's business. It's just going to happen.
It's such a good movie, though. I love Up.
I love Up. Yeah. Pixar, Disney.
They do
knocked it out of the park on that one.
So well.
Yeah. I also get a little teary every once in a while towards the end of my brain stopped with Baymax.
Big Hero 6?
Big Hero 6.
Well, when he's like, are you satisfied with your care? And they're in the portal, and then the portal breaks.
Yeah.
And then it's all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Wally says that too.
Up in Wally.
What's that?
Yeah.
Wally.
Oh, Wally. Yeah, Wally.
What was it?
So.
Also their shorts.
Oh yeah. I love
Any sort of shorts.
Yeah.
When it's for like, you get like the ones that are like, I don't know.
There's
I don't even know.
There's definitely some emotional
shorts. There's definitely really emotional ones. I'm like,
and they won a lot of Oscars for those.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They've been...
We have. I think you guys have shelved it. We have at least 2 of the videos that are just the shorts.
Really?
Yeah, DVDs are just shorts. I think DVDs are Blu-rays that are just all the shorts. I know
you
guys have shelved them at least once.
Yeah.
So, all right. So here's another one I feel is kind of cool. So they're almost down to where they've got it pretty good with these new sensors, so that if I had a prosthetic limb, I could then now start to be able to feel the material a bit. This is sandpaper, or this is smooth, or this is whatever. Or this is gooey, or I always go with sandpaper.
Why?
But yeah, no, and you could hot, cold, whatever. So I think that's pretty cool. We're finally getting to the point now where we've not only have a pretty decent limb that opens and closes and stuff, but now that you can interact with stuff and actually get feedback, which is pretty cool. Let's see, what else do I have? Because I'm looking at
sandpaper yum.
Sandpaper yum. Okay.
Not yummy.
So I guess my last thing, and I guess we're going back to streaming services because I forgot to mention this. So you guys know HBO is merging with Discovery Plus.
Yes.
So it's kind of be interesting to see what happens, because I feel like this is our first big merger. I don't think of anybody else, any big streaming services have collided together.
Really, no.
So HBO Max, which has been doing really well, they have some good content, some good originals.
Oh yeah.
And then Discovery Plus, which I think I was excited for because I like a lot of the shows, like the Food Network shows and DIY shows and stuff like that. My son loves all those shows. Exactly. Kind of crashing into each other. So, and it's not like it's not like it's a merger of similar things.
No, they're.
I
variety.
Discovery's over here, and HBO's over here. It's not like not like Food Network and the Cooking Channel when they merged. It's almost seamless.
Yeah.
People didn't even know there were 2 channels at one point.
I don't think I knew.
Yeah, there were 2 different channels.
No.
So it's gonna be interesting to see, but I want to see what the fallout is, because when 2 things merge, eventually something's got to go.
Yeah.
And as a Discovery Plus user, but not an HBO user, I'm kind of curious about what my subscription is going to look like. Because part of the reason I never went with HBO is that I was getting streaming fatigue.
Mhm.
But I added Discovery because I knew it had cooking, and my son loves things like Iron Chef, and I do as well. But like he watches that, or Treehouse Masters, or Maid Cabin Masters. Or
I like the Worst Cooks in America one, where they turn like the really really bad ones and like these actually
really good
like
functional
really like
cooks.
they can actually make mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Disney and Nat Geo combining. Yeah, that was another one.
Well, I knew Disney actually owned Nat Geo for a long time.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns a lot of stuff that you don't know.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah. My wife's cousin works for the Disney Corporation, so I guess full disclosure on that. And for a little while, she was working for the ESPN branch of Disney and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they own, because they own Marvel, they own the Muppets,
Oh,
they
yeah,
own
Marvel,
Fox, they own but most people
Fox.
don't realize that they owned ESPN, and they own a couple other sportsy things.
Yeah.
Which you don't really think of as Disney unless you've gone to Disney World and you've gone to their ESPN land thing that they had. I don't know what you call it. It was I don't know. I'm not a sports person other than hockey and sports that aren't in America, like rugby and hurling.
See, I'm not actually. I kind of football is not bad.
I'm not dissing it. I'm not dissing it.
I kind of like football.
I don't really actively follow it. I enjoy watching it.
Well, I don't actively follow it either. I do know that the games start this month or started this month.
Maybe. I don't really know. It's usually when someone says, "Oh, the Super Bowl's coming up," I'm like, "Well, who's in it?" And then people are always astounded. I'm like, I don't really follow. I'll watch the Super Bowl.
See, I don't follow, and then the Super Bowl comes, and I'll be like, I like this team more than this team for no apparent reason.
I always go after the underdogs. I always look up to see who's like the least favored. I'll go out to Vegas and look at the bookies. Like, who's going to be the least favored? Okay, that's the one I want to see win.
Or
because I want the underdog to win.
Yeah, like the Patriots. If the Patriots are against someone, I'm not rooting for the Patriots.
I don't think anybody in this part of Ohio would
ever be surprised.
Really?
You would be extremely.
Wow. Really?
There is a ton. I used to have people that lived sort of near me that their entire family was like
all about Patriots.
All Patriots.
Wow.
Kids in my school, like in my grade, they'll say something, and then of course they'll get jumped on. Whoa, why aren't you a Browns fan?
Well, I don't know if your mom's still on or not, but she grew up near me.
Yeah.
And where our area was split equally, I felt like between Steelers and Browns fans.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where she grew up and where I grew up, and that kind of area was a little bit of a mixture.
Yeah.
And then there's like that weird Green Bay
Packers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like there's one bar in my town for a little while was like a Green Bay bar, and I'm like, what on earth is this?
I mean, you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
You gotta respect it. I was
Morgan,
a Green Bay kind of gal.
My friend Morgan on the chat there, she's been on different parts of this side of Ohio, and definitely on this side of Ohio, there's a lot of Steelers. Darn cheese. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Well, there's that other Wisconsin, or the other Madison, but we don't acknowledge them because we're better.
Yeah,
we don't.
Like, I get it with Madison, Wisconsin. Oh, the capital of Wisconsin. Is it the capital?
I don't know if it's the capital of Wisconsin.
No, that's a major city in Wisconsin. I take that back. That's no.
I don't think it's the capital of Wisconsin.
It's a bigger city. Though.
I'm blanking now, but
it's bigger than. No, wait.
I like the Super Bowl for snacks.
I'm so
yes,
smart.
Sandy.
I am so smart.
You are what?
It is Madison.
It is
Madison.
I didn't think it was.
Man, yeah. I know this because the
I'm gonna go back for the snacks.
You know the Stack the States game where you have to name the capitals.
See,
I was that kid.
Games are educational, which you can check out from the Madison Public Library. We have lots of educational games that you can check out and share with your family. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
And learn your capitals. And if anything isn't streaming or you're dropping a streaming service, these two ladies can attest. We have a lot of TV shows, DVDs, and many formats.
Yep.
So I think without shameless plugs all the way, it's 8:05.
It is 8:05.
Yay. Well, we started a little bit late because we were all trying to send out stuff.
Yeah.
I was failing epically trying to share things on social media.
Yes.
Oh, some people are not going to let me live it down. So, well, thanks, Allison. That was a great amount of stories. It was fun. I think it's my very first time hosting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so it was really
I've
cool
only
because you've
done
been
it
behind
twice.
the camera a couple of times. It's been Charlie and I out front, and you behind the camera, and then you and Charlie out front. I think you were behind the camera at least once.
Not behind the camera ever.
I thought you were once.
Mm-mm.
No.
This is
I
only
know
my
it's cold
second.
a lot.
Well, no, because
I thought you were behind the camera.
I was
once.
supposed to shadow him one day, and then I couldn't make it.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking. Okay. Well,
yeah.
It's fun. This was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and thanks to Morgan, the disembodied voice on the other side
Morgan.
there. Yay! She participated a lot today.
I know.
So yeah, Morgan is awesome. So all right. So hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Hey, second Thursday of the month, we'll be back with more tech news. And you can always check out Good Morning Madison every Monday at 8:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Allison is finishing up editing that actually, and
Yes.
that should be all queued up to go for next Monday at 8:30. You can find out what's going on at our library. So see you guys on the interwebs and enjoy. Be safe.